What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tristan Ramon, aka TS, back with another video, man. And now this is part 2 of how to shoot more consistently in NBA 2K21, man. But before we get into the video, special shout out to everybody in the TS fam, aka TS gang. If you want to know how to be a part of the family, all you gotta do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. Now, as y'all can see from this preview, we just won this game 16-22, and your boy went 6 for 6 from 3, 8 for 8 overall. So if you want to know how to shoot more consistently in NBA 2K21, all you gotta do is stay locked to this video. Let's go.
Run up a set to my money long. You run up on me, then I dummy gone. It's all in my chest, I don't got it wrong. We grits in the label with runny nose. We worry about money, we hate them hoes. We don't need designer to pull them hoes. I still bag a thousands to bummy clothes. Bummy clothes. I still bag a thousands to bummy clothes.
Alright, y'all, so as y'all can see, we loaded up into the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I wanted to do this video that I forgot to do last video is I wanted to show y'all a couple numbers, because it's easy for people to be like, oh yeah, use this jump shot and do this and do that and you'll shoot better and put on these badges or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? But why should we really listen to you? You feel me? Like, what makes you so special that we should actually take your advice? So what I wanted to do is just show y'all, like, my attributes are nothing crazy. I did grind that 99, so that was cool. But and that's what gave me the 80 ball handle, so I can do those guard dribble moves on my stretch playmaker. But even though I'm a stretch, I'm still, like it says, slash playmaker. So I don't have this 99 3-point shot or a 95 3-point shot. Before I got to 99 overall, my 3-point shot was at an 83. And then because I got to 99 overall, it went to 84, then 85, 86, 87. It went up +1 each time. And then if you watch my last video, you can see that one of the tips that I was saying was make sure you get the jump shot boost. So even with the jump shot boost, I'm capping out somewhere around 91 or 92, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, you don't need like this crazy 3-point rating, attribute rating to shoot pretty decent in 2K, you feel me? So that's that. And then this is my actual 3-point percentage. So it's not like the best, but I'm also not 50. You feel me? I'm not really just shooting 50 out there. I'm 64%. And this is the reason why I'm proud of it this year, is because this is the first year that I really focused on 3-point shooting. And like, cause the last year in 2K20 and then 19, 18, and all the other years, I kind of just didn't really care about these numbers. I was just like, okay, you know, they keep your stats, that's cool. Until I found out, like, people won't run with you if your 3-point percentage or if your win percentage is too low. People not even trying to run with you. So this year, I was like, let me focus on that a little bit more. You know, I started taking it a little bit more serious. And so now the goal, when I finish off current gen, 2K21 current gen, my goal was to try to hit 70%. Especially when I was like around like 60%, and then it went up 61, 62. I was like, oh, hold on. I got a real shot to hit 70%. So I don't know if I'll be able to hit it because of how soon the next gen consoles are coming out and dropping. I plan on having mine on the first day. But like I said, on my first year of 2K trying to really focus on it, I got a 64%. You feel me? And then my win percentage is only like 56 right now. But you could ask anybody that I run with. I really just I'll run with anybody. Like if they hit me up, we just run. The only thing I try to be a little bit more mindful about is like what combinations we're running. So I try to make sure I'm not the only shooter. But other than that, if we got me and another shooter and then a big, or if we got all shooters or whatever, and you hit me up, like I'm trying to run. Like it don't really matter. But next year, I'll be like a little bit more particular about like who I run with, just so I can pay attention to that win percentage more too, because I know my win percentage could be way better if I just stop running with anybody who hit me up. But there it is right there, man. You know what I'm saying? 64 win percent, and then not win percent, 64 shooting percentage. So right here in the video, y'all, I had to cut to do a voiceover because either my phone or a TV or something was in the background of the original audio. But as you can see, I was just trying to show you guys my badge setup. Catch and shoot, corner specialist, flexible release, hot zone hunter, and range extender. But what I was saying was when I'm trying to like play against comp and not just chill, I'll take off flexible release and I'll put hot start. And then sometimes I'll trade off hot start for green machine. But if I'm just chilling in the park and I'm on 2s, then I might throw on volume shooter because you get more shot attempts when it's just 2s. Or if I'm just chilling and I'm doing a 3v3, then I'll just throw on flexible release. Because right now we're just basically waiting for next gen to come out. So I'm just trying to go into the park, get some W's, and just chill. So I'm cool. If I'm not going up against comp, I'm okay if whites go in. So that's why I'll just throw on flexible release. But if I do comp, then I'll throw on hot start, green machine, or sometimes even volume shooter. But more than volume shooter, hot start and green machine. And if I had to choose between one or the other, I would choose green machine over hot start because once you miss, hot start is just done as far as the badge space. That badge space could have been going to something else, and so green machine could be used throughout the whole entire match. And then I took you guys over to my playmaking setup, and here you can see I got Dimer Hall of Fame, Floor General Hall of Fame, Handles for Days Hall of Fame, Quick First Step Hall of Fame, Unpluckable Hall of Fame, and Tight Handles on Silver. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up the badge setup. I was showing you guys that I have my jump shot boost on. I showed you guys that I didn't have to hit SS2 to get gem rat because I decided to just go ahead and finish out one season and one playoff and win the championship game. And right here, I think I was saying that in order to get the championship game, you don't have to play all 82 games and the playoffs. You just have to play a minimum of somewhere between 35 and 40 games, and then of course win the championship. So that's pretty much it for my badge setup. Alright, so as y'all can see, I got the actual gameplay footage, so y'all can see that y'all can trust me, you feel me? So I'm running with my boy True, shout out to True, and he was actually somebody that just like me, I was like, man, people keep checking my numbers and this and that. So I saw him in the park, he was just standing on the dots by himself, and I checked his numbers. And we're not going up against no scrubs, you know, 8 points per game, 9 points per game. Of course, the typical play shot, the glass cleaner. But I saw Truth was a slasher, so I wasn't tripping off his 3-point percentage because, you know, obviously slashers are not meant to hit those. His build can kind of hit, by the way, but they're not meant to hit them. And then his win percentage, I felt like it probably was only low because just like me, he didn't have nobody to run with. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, let me just give it a shot. And then it turns out, you know what I'm saying, my boy Cosmo is actually the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why his name is Truth Cosmo. You feel me? So, anyways, my first tip that I have for y'all, man, my first tip for the advanced tips is going to be learn your jump shot cue, okay? So, some people go off of jump shot timing and like how long to hold down square and how long to not hold down square, whatever the case may be. Me personally, when I tell people like learn your jump shot, I'm not really talking about the timing, only because if you know 2K, you know 2K is especially like this mode in particular, it's based off of the internet. And so with it being based off of the internet, your timing is always going to be different because already as it is, it's a different timing for catch and shoot versus pulling up off the dribble versus when you're running in transition and like you got the ball in your hand and you gotta like do a quick stop and you shoot, like all these timings. And then like sometimes people have dimer and then when they hit you with dimer, your timing is different than without dimer. So when you know all this stuff, you gotta take that into account, and you gotta take into account the fact that it's over the internet, so it's gonna be lag or latency or whatever. So you might find that when there's like zero lag or zero latency or very little latency or whatever, shout out to my boy Agent 2 because Agent always talks about latency, Agent 00. But you'll find that when you master your jump shot, you're like, okay, cool, this jump shot, the way that I have everything, it takes like 2 to 3 seconds. You feel me? Just hold square down or hold the shot stick down for about 2 seconds. But then, because now you're in a different park or a different server or whatever, or you're running with somebody that may not have Dimer Hall of Fame, but they only got Dimer on bronze or something, then that changes the timing. Or because you're in a different server or you join a different park, now this park has more latency. So you're holding down square and you're trying to figure out like, well, how come I'm not hitting no more? But it's because you're going off of the timing. Whereas no matter what your timing is, if you know when you're supposed to release the ball based off of the character animations, then that's way different. So when you get off the catch and shoot, or when you're doing it off the dribble, if you always memorize, for example, with this jump shot that I have, the release point and the cue to let square go, the cue is right when the hands go by the forehead. Right when he goes by the forehead, let go of square. And then he'll follow through with the rest of the shot. But green, as you can see right there, I just know my jump shot cue. So make sure you guys learn that. That's tip number 1 for this part 2 video for the advanced, you know what I'm saying, how to shoot more consistently. Alright, so tip number 1, understand your release point and your cue. Tip number 2, understand the takeover meter. So as y'all can see, we was down big. You feel me? We was down like 16-3 or something like that. And at 9, I was like, alright, you know what? Instead of just shooting all threes, let me go ahead and go in a couple times too. That's not just because I didn't want to be predictable or one-dimensional or whatever. Tip number 2 is make sure you pay attention to your takeover meter and you consider your takeover meter, because advanced shooters know that the higher your takeover meter goes, the better you're able to shoot, because your attributes start to get boosted a little bit. So always pay attention to your takeover meter. If your takeover meter is like super low and you're trying to shoot 100% game or do a comeback game, then it's a higher chance that you're not going to make some of those iffy type of shots. But if your takeover meter is almost full or is pretty much full, then that means you're getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So what I did was I mixed it up. I did shoot a lot because I wanted to come back. Boom, as you can see, I hit the green right there. But I didn't just take all threes. Let me pause it right there. I didn't just take all threes. I made sure to mix in 2 dunks as well, because I wanted my takeover meter to go a little bit higher. So instead of just shooting, we all know at some point 2K is bound to kick in, and they bound to give you like a lag spike because of the servers, or I don't know, maybe it's the internet at your house. I don't know what it is, but at some point 2K just kicks in, or you could get like a weird animation or something. So I don't just rely on just all shooting. What I do is I make sure to pay attention to my takeover meter too, because that will let me know, okay, cool, I got 1 3 to drop, I got 2 3s to drop. And you see the first one was white, but the next ones after that were green, you know what I'm saying? So I had 2 whites, and then I think the other 4 3-pointers were green. But that was because I made sure to mix in those 2 dunks. And so now the better and the hotter I got, then the better I could shoot. Alright? And one more thing I want to remind y'all of before I end this video, man, is that takeover meter that you're paying attention to, it's a gauge of how well you're doing. So obviously, it's only going to go up at a fast rate if you're having a good game. That doesn't just mean that you're making your shots. It means that you're not throwing turnovers. It means that you're not just reaching, trying to get a steal every possession, but you're actually getting fouls. It's a gauge on how well you're playing. So when you're paying attention to it, as long as you're having a good game, the meter will move fast. But if you're not having a good game, then that's when you'll find that the meter is moving super slow. That's about it for this video, y'all. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video on your stories, on your pages, on wherever. And turn on post notifications, man. Until the next video, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm out.
Boy, that shit up, trippy.
Run up his hat to my money long. You run up on me, then I dummy gone. It's all on my chest, I don't got it wrong. We grits in the label with runny nose. We worry about money, we hate them hoes. We don't need designer to pull them hoes. I still bag a thousand for bummy clothes. Bummy clothes. I still bag a thousand for bummy clothes.